Welcome to the Mindset by Design podcast with your host, the expert Andy Murphy, where you will learn the tips, tricks, and strategies he teaches his world-class clients to give you the skills to dominate any business.
What's going on, Mindset by Design crew, and welcome to episode 284. Hope you're amazing as always. I'm sitting right now in the Caribbean sun. You gotta love it, right? I've been here for a while, in a couple of months, and it's so nice. My first time to the Caribbean, and I like it a lot. And speaking of liking it a lot, I've been up. I was actually started working this morning at 5:45. Don't ask me why. I just decided to get up last night and start working. So right now it's 3:30 in the afternoon. Still going. Got another meeting after this. But what am I talking about today? This is another quite a short one. Today, the reason is I'm just putting them out this way. Sometimes we got to mix it up, right? So if you're new to Mindset by Design, then welcome. Always nice to have an awesome new listener. What we're here about at Mindset by Design is about building new behaviors, new ways of thinking, feeling, and acting using NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, which I'm a world-class expert at, neuro-retraining, which are my systems, neuroscience, we're dealing with behavioral psychology, the unconscious mind, sprinkle of spirituality, and anything that creates peak performance in people. Plain and simple. I've done this for 18 years all over the world with some of the best in the world, from royalty to world champions to Fortune 500 CEOs, all the way down to startups, trauma, and anything you can imagine in between. Why am I telling you that? Well, this is a shorter episode. And I want you to go back, if you're new, to all the way to episode 281, which can the Mozart effect really help your business? And if you don't know what the Mozart effect is, well, guess what? You know what episode to go to. The one before that, we got Mr. Tony Jeffries, good friend of mine. He's an Olympian of boxing mindset. We've got the 279, the science of habits for a high-performing business. Then we go to 278. And this is like a connection with episode 281, the Mozart effect. This is 278 is music a performance-enhancing drug? It's a good question. Yeah, well, the science is all there, and you're going to love that episode. We've also got episode 277, which, if you don't know me, and if you're new to this, well, I've done martial arts since I was 9 years old. It's one of my biggest passions, besides, obviously, helping people be awesome. It's martial arts thinking and business. Then we've got 276, how neural networks shape our beliefs, mindset, and choices. And then 275, apparently I'm giving you a rundown of episodes today, crew. So 275, it's Joe Rogan's top 10 life lessons. And then 274, we got Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, and 48 others who have top 1% mindset. What else we got? 273? Might as well keep going for a few more, right? Are you or the media programming your unconscious mind? It's actually a really good episode. 272, discover the genius system Elon Musk learned from Aristotle. So we can keep going. Yeah, 272, Sunday morning coffee in Scotland with Steph and myself. We got 271. Is dopamine upgrading or destroying you? Then we're good to do a couple more. 270, we've got emotional intelligence, which is EQ mastery and how to apply in everyday business. 269, NLP basics, how to see your business differently. And two more. 268, we've got the psychological truth. That's an interview that a friend of mine, Jeff Falladin, did of me. So if you want to go and learn more about me, then 268. One more. We got my 267, good mate of mine, mentor, Dean Gray, tech and trends and what's going on. Shall I give you one more? 265, sorry. Sleep, happiness, and brain power. So go and check that out. Today, little different. Today's a little different. I'm going to show you a clip from actually it's a separate product, which you're probably going to get your hands on when I launch the Fire Mind funnel. But you're gonna love it because it's just 16 minutes. But what it's going to do is it's going to show you a few things. One, it's going to show you why you're creating overwhelm in yourself, what's happening in the brain. Two, about how to design and step into peak states and when to use them and how to use them. And I don't think I go into it massively different in this episode, but the way I design states or peak versions of you or alter ego versions of you, it's very unique. I don't think anyone else does it quite like I do it in the world. But yeah, that's a conversation for another time. So then what we do is I show you how to, and I don't usually release this, so if you're listening to this is a nice little system for you if you're running your own business and getting overwhelmed at the start of the week, because what I show you is how to organize your week to drop into flow states, to full time, all of these things. So all of this is in this quick training. Pretty cool. So that's it. So make sure you head over to the show notes, because just listening to this podcast is going to help you. But the truth is, we keep listening to stuff. We trick our brains with dopamine releases. But really, what we don't do is take action. And that's what you need to be doing, is just taking action for yourself. So I have the Fire Mind experiment, which is going to be launched, well, hopefully next week. Hopefully we can get this out by next week, if not the week after. But it's absolutely amazing. You're going to want to be a part of it. It's limited, so you're just going to want to be a part of it. So I'm going to have all of that out for you to jump on. But that kind of means that I'm going to be maybe taking one person on a month as a personal client, maybe two, probably not, because I'm going to be full, and maybe none. So if you want to work with me or have a chat about the Fire Mind experiment, or just how you can sort yourself out or take your game to a next level, whether you are absolutely booming in your business and you want to make sure that you're razor sharp, or you've dipped in performance, know you're world class and want to bounce back. Either way, let's sort your brain out to sort your business out. I've done it for 10,000 people. We've done over 1.5 million downloads on the podcast, and I've spoken all over the world. So I reckon I can help you. So check in with us. Show notes, link, click it, apply, have a chat. That's it. So let's jump into this. And I'll see you in, probably about 16 minutes. Okay, here we are, module 2. Hopefully you love the MP3. If you haven't listened to it yet, that's okay. You can go through the whole course and then go back to it. But module 2 is really, really important. It's besides setting yourself up with the actual becoming that version of you, this is a huge game changer. And it might be a completely different way to you work your week, but it's very important. Now let me explain why, okay? Because for me, I don't know about yourself, but sometimes I look at my week and go, wow, how am I going to get through that, right? And that was definitely what I used to think all the time. It was, how am I going to get through all of those appointments, those meetings? It's back to back from morning to night, 7 days a week. Well, actually, 6 days a week. 7 days a week, it was full, because that is my rest day. I am off. Unless I have to hustle, and then that's what we do, right? Everything becomes flexible. So let me explain my week, okay? Or the week that I've now created for myself. Because before, what used to happen is I'd have different days for anything could happen. I'd have a client there, a meeting there, a salesperson, a sales event there, and maybe have a speaking gig there, a webinar there. I've got to run to the shops there. I've got to do this there. So what does that mean? I'm constantly putting out fires, okay? Constantly putting out fires. And what does constantly putting out fires mean? It means that my focus is being constantly shifted, okay? I want you to understand that. Because in the bonus sections, you've got a whole lesson around states or peak states or alter egos, right? All slightly different, but slightly the same thing. I want you to really understand that, but I'm going to give you a quick overview right here, right now, okay? So the reason I want you to understand that week is because of your states. So when we are in overwhelmed, what really is going on, okay? Well, overwhelm means that we have too many pieces all scattered, so our brain is trying to create these loops and trying to remember and organize all of these different things. So the dominant feeling is what? Overwhelm. Yes, right. So understand, overwhelm is a state. It is a version of you, okay? A version of you. What the heck does that mean? I'll use an extreme example, okay? Whenever we're with professional athletes in the past, guess what? That professional fighter or martial artist getting into a ring, they're in a very unique place. They're in a very unique state or circuit that is playing in their brain, okay? Their focus is on a very specific and unique thing. Their self-talk, their feelings that are dominant, right? Their heart rate, their adrenal gland production, their neurochemical production, their beliefs about themselves and what's possible, their attitude to what they're about to do, right? How they value themselves. All of this is such a unique experience. If you imagine that as a bubble, okay? That is a fighter of them, right? This could be a trader, this could be an online marketer, this could be in real estate, sales, it could be whatever the heck you want, right? Makes no difference, just an example. That version of them is certainly not the same version as when they go on a date, or they try and relax, or they go and speak to their mum, okay? They're all very unique experiences of the world. I want you to understand this. Why? Because so is overwhelm, okay? So our job is to take you out of overwhelm and make that peak state, which is the world-class you, right? That's what you're making in the morning. So when I used to look at my calendar, I used to instantly go into overwhelm, right? And that's what we're going to stop right here, right now. Let me explain how. What I want you to understand is that I want you to understand your week. What we've got to do is to get you to focus on one theme or topic for as long a period as possible. What did I say before about putting out fires? Yeah, all of these, every time you put a fire out, it lights up a different version of you, a different circuit in the brain, a different state, a different bubble. Does that make sense? So if you're putting out fire for the kids, hopefully not literally, guess what? You step into parent role. And then sales role. And you see the contrast in those? You might have a very different focus and belief and emotion here to here. This is a very different version of you to here. Now, they all part of you. You're still in there. It's just different hats that we put on, different roles that we play. So the number one focus is to make sure that we're going to create a focus for as long a period as possible on a specific theme. Let me explain, right? Clear as mud? It'll be very clear. It'll be clear as a beautiful stream in a minute. So what I want you to understand, let me explain my week. My week used to be erratic, but now it's very set, it's very structured. And to be a high performer, you have to be the same. So this is my week. Mondays, it's about recording. Either recording my own content, recording other people's interviews, or recording interviews for myself, or going on different people's podcasts, or whatever it is. For example, this right now, I'm recording this, it's on a Monday, right? It's not it's not random, it's very organized. Week 2, I bring on, I should say week 2, day 2, Tuesday. What's that? Well, Tuesday is about sales. That's about bringing on new clients or working on sales projects. Wednesday, it's my regular clients, okay? Thursday is about my groups. Friday, I take meetings in the morning, work on my own stuff in the afternoon. Saturday mornings, I always work unless I wake up and I'm absolutely exhausted. Or I'm traveling. That's my travel day too. So, what have I done? I've organized my week. Do you want to hear the key statement? Your or my week. This is your life, okay? So each day that I get up, Monday, do I know what theme it is for the day? Yes. Tuesday, do I know what theme it is for the day? Yes. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yes. All of these days have themes. That's what I want you to first of all introduce, right? Introduce themes to your day. Now, you're going to be able to have a download of, it's just a simple calendar that you can print out, you can play with if you wanted to get really used to playing with different days for different things, because there's steps to this. So that's step 1, themes, okay? What theme am I having today? Now you might be saying, Andy, there is no way that I'm going to be able to have one theme for one day. I get it, I understand. So this is why we start working into chunks right now, okay? So first of all, let me explain chunks. We have bigger chunks and we have smaller chunks. We have macro and we have what? Micro. We have 30,000 foot world views, and then we can go down into microscopic, right? Chunking up, chunking down. This is for negotiation, perspectives on life. We keep going on. But we're using it for calendar formation or to build your world-class what? Yes, day or week. So what we got to look at is chunks. So I don't want you to focus on what's happening next month, first of all. No, next month's next month. I want you to take each month by month. Does that make sense, first of all? We're starting to chunk down from the year, starting to chunk down to the month. From the month, I want you to chunk down and focus on the week, okay? Sometimes, as I said before, that week gets too much, and I understand. So we've got to focus on the day. Sometimes the day is too much, right? So we've got to focus on the afternoon or the morning. The morning or afternoon's too much. Okay. Then we've got to focus on what? The next task. Okay? What do I mean by that? I want you to now, from your themes, right, of the week, I want you to start blocking in 1 to 2 hour blocks of time. Okay? Why is this important? Well, we'll get to why it's important. But I want you to understand that. So I know, for example, right? You know my week, but for a salesperson, for example, I would get them to do generally the thing that they're putting off, but will create the most leverage point or knock-on effect for the rest of the week. What's that? Lead generation. So I know if I block the Monday morning out for maybe an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever you want, and that is sales time. That means picking up the phone or sending the emails or creating the content. It's sales, lead generation. And they could be setting up their closing, right, for Thursday afternoon, Thursday day. So just think about that. Those two things are regular. Monday morning, Thursday afternoon. Guess what? That means, what have I just freed up in your brain? Yes, the rest of the week. I've not got to think about any lead generation but those times. Maybe you want to make Tuesday morning the same. I don't know. This is your week, right? So Monday block time. So now we've chunked it down into a manageable bite-sized piece of an hour or 2. Does that make sense? Yes, right. Can you handle an hour or 2? Yes. Can you handle the whole week or the month? Whoa, no. Right. So what we start looking at is how to theme our week and break down into manageable bite-sized pieces that we can handle. And not only handle, absolutely excel at, okay? Because we're going to show you a little bit more about state changing, and I'm going to give you a little bonus on that, and you can go into the big bonuses, right? But making sense so far? So if we start to organize our week like this, what does it do? It allows us to create laser focus. Laser focus on a specific task for a specific period of time, okay? This is called batching, okay? You might have heard this term before, but we're gonna add some unconscious elements into it. So batching is the term of putting things into, well, a theme, right? So when we start to understand that, we broke it down into days, we broke it down into chunks. Beautiful. That's a great step, okay? With me so far? Beautiful. It's starting to make sense, starting to get as clear as water yet? No, we're getting there. So day themes, mini chunks. And so now what we want is to, how do we start to automate this, okay? Because you're like, Andy, that's all very well and good, but I don't even look at my calendar. Well, you can use this however, this concept however you want, but I'm going to show you how I do and how I teach it. So I use Google Calendar. Why? Because it's free. You can use it anywhere and everywhere, okay? So Google Calendar, I want you to use, and this is the reason, okay? I want you to download it on your phone, and I want you to download it or make sure you've got it on your computer on a tab, okay? Why? Why, Andy? Why Google? It doesn't have to be Google, but this is the point. What here we want to start creating is pattern interrupts, okay? Now, the later section, the module 4, you're going to learn more about pattern interrupts, and yeah, we'll go into it more detail then. But what I want you to do here on level 2, I was calling it levels, on second section is really understand this, okay? So when we start to understand that by having it on your phone and your computer, what does Google do when there's an appointment about to come up? What does it do? Yeah, it pops it up, right? It pops it up on the screen. So you can't get away from it. So in that moment, you could be doing anything, but it doesn't matter because in that moment, it pops up, you have a choice. Does that make sense? You have a choice. So you're going to be the old you or the new you? Are you going to get this done or are you going to let this slip away? It becomes your choice. So if it's on your phone, we've always got a phone, right? Pop. You have an appointment, but the appointment is do this task. The appointment is this, or this, right? So when we start to surround ourselves with the ability for technology to automate or interrupt our habits, we then have a choice of we're going to become world class and remain this version, or we're going to do something else. When you keep building your brain into being world class, then guess what's going to happen? Yeah, you're going to start to find it easier and easier and easier to make the right decision. Does that make sense? So what I want you to do here, so Google Calendar, right? So what are we doing? We're theming our week. We're chunking it down into bite-sized chunks that we're going to be able to handle. And not only just be able to handle, be able to really perform it. We're going to automate the ones that we're going to make sure that we do on a regular basis, like making sales calls, closing deals on a Thursday, right? So what else are we doing? We're building it into Google. It doesn't have to be Google, but we're using Google. Why? Because we want the pattern interrupt, okay? What does that mean? It pops up on the screen. We have a choice in who we're going to be. Is this the old me or the new me? What would the new world-class me do in this situation instead? If it's on your phone, if it's on your computer, it's going to pop up everywhere and you can't escape it. So you have to make a decision. And the more we pump the brain, the more we're going to make the right decisions. Making sense? Like it? Good. So that's really how we start to organize your week. Okay, now I'm going to do a quick bonus video to show you how one simple way, there's many different ways I teach to get into peak state. I'm going to give you one simple way that you can perform in each one of these sections. Okay, so, but like it so far? Beautiful. So now you can go away and design your perfect day. So beautiful, and your perfect week. I'll see you in the next section. What's going on, crew? So there we are, the end of episode 284. Just a little taste. It's actually a little bonus course that I created just for people who were going through that, and it's pretty cool. It's how to create your world-class day. There's like about 6 different parts. It's a cool little course, you know. So this was just one of the little sections from it. I thought I'd share it with you. I know it will be beneficial, and hopefully you'll learn a lot. So the next thing you need to do is just click on those show notes, connect with me somehow, and let's see how we can get you sorted. As I say, we got Firemind coming up, and you're gonna want to be a part of that because you are the experiment. So that's why we called it the Firemind experiment, you know. So check that out. Make sure you're hanging out with me in the Facebook Incubator group. What else? Yeah, just follow me on social media. And the other thing is, yeah, connect with me. That's what you want to be really doing. Let's just have a chat, whether it's with me personally or one of my team. Yeah, just see where you're at, because this is about mental performance. This is not about self-help. So it doesn't matter what level of business you're at. Let's get you to the next one. So awesome. Until the next time, crew, much love. And oh yeah, one more thing. Why don't you smile for me?
Thanks so much for listening to today's episode of the Mindset by Design podcast with your host and NLP expert, Andy Murphy. We'll catch you next time.